from Orange Park, Florida. We're with Brian Barrett. We're just talking to Brian, man. You know, I met Brian last year, and one of our pro staff guys, Mike Randolph, was down here, has some friends. He has a house down here. He's from Austin, Texas, and came on down and said, man, called me up on the phone all excited. He says, you got to get down here, man. There's a guy across the street that's a tournament fisherman. He goes, I'm going to give him some of these skippy fish and see how they are. Man, a couple hours later, ends up calling me back. They pulled a 7-pounder out of a pond right in his backyard. And got down there, you know, the following week and spent some time with him, met Brian. And I said, man, you got to try these things out. And he was pretty impressed with them. But Brian, when we showed you them skippy fish before, you never heard of them before, right?
No.
Where's that watermelon red that you have?
I got it right here.
This watermelon red, you know, now this 4-inch, it's typically not a size that you throw down here. Usually in the Northeast, you're throwing something like this. But
right.
Down here, you're throwing 6-inch. You're throwing a lot larger baits, 4 or 5-aught hooks, big line, big rods and reels. You're pulling out some toads here. And we've seen them. I mean, it's no joke. But, you know, down here, this watermelon red is something that really works well for you. The other one that works great, too, is a green pumpkin that we have. Now, we're just showing you these 4-inch ones, but you've used these 6-inch ones, too. Compared to other soft plastic jerk baits that you've used in the past, what did you really notice a difference of with our skippy fish opposed to others? What kind of impression?
The first thing I noticed was the tail. It's got a lot of action. If you can tell right there, just holding it and rolling it, that the tail just moves unbelievable. And the other baits just have a straight tail, but this has like a what we call it, our nickname for this bait is the whale tail. Okay. So it just has a lot of action on the tail. And another thing I noticed was the pad on the back where the hook lays.
Yep.
So when I hook it and bring it up, I can skin hook it and it just lays there and it makes it virtually weedless.
How do you typically rig that when you're out? I mean, you're tournament fishing now over 20 years. You've been pretty successful down here in Florida. You fish a lot over the country, but people know you down here. You're a pretty familiar name. When you're typically using that and you're on a big body of water like what, Robinson you're fishing?
Robin, Santa Fe, the St. Johns River.
Big bodies of water.
Right.
Where are you throwing it and how are you fishing it?
We would typically hook it and skin hook it so it's weedless, and we would fish it in slop, pads.
When you're skin hooking it, you're putting that on a offset hook, right? You bring this through and you're bringing that hook tip right through the hook slot here.
We would use a 6-inch bait with about a 5-aught hook. So
okay.
We got to have big down here. We got a lot bigger fish. So I've been fishing this in hydrilla. An excellent bait for hydrilla because you can pull it through, and the bass they're in the hydrilla. When they see that bait come by, they're hitting it. Cool, so man. It's awesome bait. Like I said, the tail action is awesome. You just don't get any other action like that on another bait. So.
Well, you put them to the tournament test. The only thing is your mother didn't approve them yet. My mom has. So we're trying to get a whole bunch of mothers on the whole cult following of skippy fish to approve them. But you like the bait, right? Would you recommend them to most people?
Oh yes, I would. And I've already given my friends a bunch of them, and they've used them in different lakes that we fished around here, and they've had pretty good success with them. So it's a good bait.
Good, I appreciate it. Well, we'll give you some. You can use some more because I know you got short on some supply. You were giving them out to a lot of guys, but that's a good thing. So we appreciate you promoting them like that. But listen, guys, you ever want to get down to Florida, no matter where you're fishing in the country, you come down here, you want to throw a 6-inch skippy fish, you want to use a 5-aught hook, you want to load it up with some heavy line, some good stiff poles, and throw it out there and find the thickest, sloppiest stuff that you can find, whether it's hydrilla, whether it's stumps, lily pads. You can rip this thing through and just drives those bass crazy. Appreciate your time, man. Good seeing you again, and wish you luck on the tournament trail.
All right, thank you.